forefront for our discussion. And I showed you this a couple days ago, but I was researching Thatch Weave. So I had to draw it up. And I was kind of showing it. It's like, so you got your two blue aircraft in black here. So basically it's just like the Zero, Japanese Zero, more maneuverable, higher energy. And so these guys would just weave back and forth and effectively make a Zero pick one of the aircraft. And then the other aircraft would kind of now, instead of kind of weaving back in, dig down, and they were able to go ahead and, as one would say, make the Zero makes the lethal choice. The other guy would kind of roll in behind with guns, potentially undetected. And now they're just kind of going back and forth, beating the Zero down on energy as well. Am I getting this tactic right? Is there anything? Yeah. Is there anything from that? Because again, we still use principles of that to this day. And I just thought it was super cool, kind of researching it.
Yeah, it's the standard. Yeah, today, you and I, we go through our initial flight training. We're taught combat spread. Now, whether someone called it combat spread back in the day, I don't know. But the way that all evolved was, my grandfather was very big on being combat proficient, particularly when it came to air-to-air gunnery. And he knew he had, and he flew the Wildcat early on in the war. And he was good friends with Jimmy Thatch, Butch O'Hare, Sweet Fajesta. So these guys would gather around my grandfather's kitchen table with a bottle of bourbon and try to figure out how are we gonna win. And this is where it started in a kitchen in Coronado, California. When they were all living and flying out of North Island, and it's what evolved into section tactics and division tactics. And so my grandfather went on to write the first fighter tactics manual for the Navy. But little did I know until I only learned this a couple of years ago. He was a proponent of a six ship, not a division of 4, but he was really trying to push hard on a 6-plane. I call it a division, but yeah. But in the end, with all those guys around the kitchen table, was the 6-plane is not going to work. You need a 4-plane. So that's where the Navy came up with its division tactics back in 1941, 42, 43.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, I love it. It was my grandfather that named it the Thatch Weave. They work together and they go around. Well, we can't call it the Flatley Weave. That doesn't sound cool. Let's call it the Thatch Weave.
Yeah, I know. It's like
and that's how it was born.
Immortalizing the other guy, and that's awesome. And again, just learning the history of fighter aviation and naval aviation and Air Force aviation and all these different things, and how it evolves over time. But we talk about this a lot. Is again, things remain constant, and it's that innovative attitude. Sitting around with a bottle of Jack and around a piece of paper and some markers or a napkin and some grease pens, and coming up with being like, man, this threat, we haven't really figured it out yet. Here's what we could do. Here's what won't work. And then let's go try it out.